to my beloved hometown, New Orleans, after spending 4 years in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania, and then 3 years in Washington, D.C. at Georgetown University Law School. I went back to New Orleans, and certainly when I got back, I wanted to go back and check out some of the old places I used to go. So there's a place in New Orleans where there was this incredible little diner called Poor Richard's. They served heart attack eggs, high cholesterol grits, and everything in between. So I had to go back and check it out. But next to Poor Richard's was another business, might be known as a beverage establishment. In the neighborhood, you call it a liquor store. And as I was walking into Poor Richard's in front of the liquor store, you know, sometimes in the neighborhood, there's also in front of the liquor store a welcoming committee. So I'm walking and I look over there and I hear somebody calling my name. Yo, hey you. And of course I look over and there was some of my old friends and old buddies. You know, there was Lucky and Itchy and Scratchy and their lieutenants and sidekicks. So they called me over, you know, I dapped everybody up. What's happening? We haven't seen you in a long time. And they said, man, we heard you went up, left us and went to those fancy schools in the Northeast, and they're kind of ragging on me, and they said, yeah, we heard you join this organization called the fraternity, the same one that Martin Luther King, and he says, and that lawyer, that big lawyer who was on the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall, Marshall was on the court at this time, and you joined this organization. I said, yes, Alpha Phi Fraternity. He said, we don't know what it's called, we know it's a fancy organization. And of course, we're having a good time, just talking. He said, they challenged me, they said, look, we have a question for you, because we're gonna really see what you learned at all these fancy schools. And so he said, one of them said, well, here's the question. What's the #1 nation on earth? I said, well, the first #1 nation on earth is Alpha Nation. He said, oh no. I said, well, the USA. Oh no, you're wrong. I said, well, how about Saints Nation? The Saints were having a winning season at that time. They said, oh no. So I stepped back and they said, okay, you have flunked the test. We gave you 3 chances. Now we're gonna give you the answer to the question. The answer to the question is the #1 nation on earth is a donation. And you owe us one right now. So the welcoming committee became a fundraising committee. And I was out of about $20 right there. So, good afternoon to all. And I want to be brief because there are honorees and others